Lost media is a topic that I find endlessly fascinating. And while there's well-known examples and searches for the likes of London After Midnight, the alternate ending to The Shining, and Slamfest 99, Australia also has several examples of lost media. Here's just a few of them. The story of the Kelly Gang. Perhaps the most famous piece of Australian lost media, the story of the Kelly Gang is a 1906 hour-long film chronicling the life of the infamous bushranger. Despite being one of Australia's earliest films and the interest in its subject, film replayability and preservation weren't priorities in its day, and the story of the Kelly Gang has become a piece of mostly lost media. There's so little information about the film today that we don't even know the names of all of its cast members. 17 minutes worth of snippets from the film have been recovered since the mid-1970s, with the most recent being found in 2006. So perhaps there's still hope that the complete story of the Kelly Gang will be found one day. Countdown. Airing from 1974 to 1987 on the ABC, the TV show Countdown was a big deal back in its day. This music show was a platform for some pretty notable artists from Australia and abroad, including Duran Duran, AC/DC, and Kylie Minogue, among many others. Unfortunately, executive order cost-cutting at the ABC led to many master tapes being erased, resulting in at least 100 episodes becoming lost. The ruthlessness of these erasure orders was so severe that two of Countdown's directors smuggled what master tapes they could from ABC headquarters to save them. Fortunately, Countdown aired at a time when home recording was just being introduced in Australia, so there's still a chance that more episodes could be rediscovered. Kylie Minogue's White Diamond Studio version. Kylie Minogue is possibly one of Australia's most successful musical exports, and while she does have an extensive catalogue, there is one song of hers that has never seen a proper release. In 2006, Kylie was working on a new album and her comeback tour after recovering from breast cancer. One of the songs considered for inclusion was White Diamond, an upbeat number created with the help of Groove Armada, the Scissor Sisters, and Calvin Harris. This pop song about a person standing by their partner during tough times was performed during Kylie's Showgirl Homecoming tour in 2007, and a ballad version was also released, but the original studio demo version has never been heard in full by the public. It's likely somewhere in the archives of Kylie's record label, though whether it will emerge in a leak or an official release after all of this time is very tough to tell. Not a lot of people know that. Easily one of the more obscure pieces of Australian lost media, not a lot of people know that was a game show made for Melbourne Community Television in 2013. 6 episodes were filmed, but the last 4 were on a hard drive that was stolen. This theft meant that the final 4 episodes had to be reshot by the production, and their original versions have remained lost to this day. Given the years that have passed since their theft and the show's obscurity, there's every chance that the original versions of Not a Lot of People Know That may be lost forever. Number 96. First airing in 1972, Number 96 was, at least for its time, a bold and daring show. The soap opera followed the lives of people living in an apartment block and contained some of the earliest positive portrayals of LGBTQ characters in Australian media, alongside some interracial relationships. The series was filled with many adult storylines, and for a time propelled Network 10 to the top of the ratings. But despite its success and cultural significance, many episodes from the early days of Number 96 are lost. The first 584 were made in black and white, but many of these tapes were reused when the series made the switch to colour. just 19 episodes from the black and white days of number 96 have been recovered, leaving over 500 still missing. Given the time that has passed and the volume of missing episodes, it may be almost impossible for all of them to be recovered. Swinning. Swinning is a weird one. So weird in fact that I wish I'd found out about it before I made my Weird Kids Show Iceberg. Produced by the ABC in 1997, Swinning ran for 15 episodes and follows the life of the Turveys, a family of monkeys. They're played by actors in these costumes that kind of look off. The combination of human clothes and prosthetics used to monkeyfy the actors gives them this strange effect, like they're not quite human or monkey. It's alleged that 15 episodes of Swinning were produced, although there's little evidence of the show's existence today. The ABC website no longer mentions it, although information on the show can be accessed via the Wayback Machine. It's also listed on the resume of one of the show's actors, none other than Logie-winning Wentworth star Celia Island. Out of the 15 episodes made, 3 full episodes have made their way online, along with an incomplete 4th episode. The status of the series and why it has become lost are hard to determine, although you'd think that it'd be archived somewhere as an ABC production of the late 1990s. The Private World of Miss Prim. This 1966 sitcom seems unheard of, even in Australia. We do know that it starred Dawn Lake, Owen Wygott and Play School's Benita Collins and ran for at least 11 episodes on Channel 9, though some sources suggest that a total of 13 were produced. Unfortunately, only the pilot survives today. It's unknown why no other episodes of The Private World of Miss Prim exist today, although it's likely a victim of tape erasures, like so many other shows on this list. And since it was produced well before home recording was available, The Private World of Miss Prim may be lost forever. The Dame Nellie Melba Funeral Procession. Dame Nellie Melba was an Australian opera singer who was known all over the world. She performed in Sydney, London, New York and Paris throughout the 19th and into the 20th century. Dame Nellie was highly regarded in the arts world, and when she died in 1931, it was a major event. Newspapers, radio and television all covered her elaborate funeral procession, and though we're fortunate to have some recordings of Dame Nellie singing, the same can't be said for coverage of her funeral service. Just a few snippets of film survive from the service, though it's thought that additional film and radio coverage could still exist somewhere. In May 2021, a home movie featuring Dame Nellie alongside her son, her daughter-in-law and her granddaughter was discovered in an Adelaide law firm, so perhaps there's still hope that more Dame Nellie Melba lost media could emerge in the future. The Slim Dusty Unreleased Demos. Australian country singer Slim Dusty had a career spanning over 50 years, with hits like A Pub With No Beer and over 100 albums to his name. But there's much more to Slim's catalogue than these highlights. Before becoming a country music superstar, Slim created multiple demo recordings before his first major release in 1946. There were very few of these demos made into records, and if any still survive today, they are likely in long forgotten private collections. Without exact numbers to go off, it's hard to say whether any of these demo recordings still exist, although Slim's fans would certainly love to hear them. The Magic Shoes. The Magic Shoes is a very unique case of Australian lost media. Produced in 1936, this short film retells Cinderella in pantomime form. It stars Helen Hughes, the daughter of former Prime Minister Billy Hughes, and features the debut performance of none other than Peter Finch, the very first Australian actor to win an Academy Award. The Magic Shoes didn't run wild at the box office and has since become a piece of lost media. In 2006, a series of production stills were discovered in a suitcase belonging to a cameraman who worked on the film, so we at least have some idea of what this production looked like. Though The Magic Shoes is almost 90 years old, there have been older films recovered before, so perhaps we will one day get to see this long forgotten production. Thank you for watching this video everybody, I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, then you may also like my video about the weird kids shows of Australia Iceberg, which also features some pieces of lost media that you might find interesting. And if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more from me. Thanks again everybody, and take care.